CIG has put out a video about Invictus Week, or the lack thereof. You might be wondering why they haven't said anything about Invictus Week. Usually I think they would have put out the dates by now. Looks like there's not going to be one. Instead, Drake Defense Con is effectively taking over the whole time. So essentially there's still going to be an Invictus Week, but it's going to be called Drake Defense Con and have a different theme to it. Let's listen to this, watch this, and then we'll talk about what this means.
This is James Harriman with a breaking SSN CATV news flash. Footage has emerged of Drake's CEO Anvil Odin stirring up controversy yet again.
United. Yeah, okay. It's real funny how those UEE shills suddenly had urgent business back in Saul. So yeah, Drake stepped in. Someone had to. For the people, remember?
This time he's taking aim at the UEE and Invictus Launch Week's abrupt retreat to Saul.
And hey, we're proud, real proud, to welcome all manufacturers. No hidden agenda, no glossy bait. Even if a certain heavily armored silhouette just happens to overshadow the ironclad, that's not the point.
Silhouette.
According to the divisive CEO, DefenseCon 2956 will be going ahead bigger than ever, with a full roster of manufacturers previously scheduled to be at Invictus.
This is for the independents, the haulers, the homesteaders, the freelancers, the ones who don't get flyovers. So yeah, DefenseCon will show them how it's really done. And hey, the UEE is always welcome too.
Will DefenseCon truly deliver for the everyday heroes of the system on this unprecedented scale? Stay tuned.
Let him keep talking.
This is James Harriman, signing off.
I want to hear more. I like how he says, and that the people without the flyovers, but like...
DefenseCon will show them how it's really...
I always think of flyovers when people talk about flyover states, which, you know, no offense to anybody who lives in a state that people call a flyover state. That's just the first
thing.
This
is James Harriman with a breaking SSN CATV news flash. Footage.
All right, let's break this down because there's a couple pretty key little bits of information
emerged
here.
Of Drake's CEO Anvil Odin stirring up controversy yet again.
First of all, we better be able to work for this guy at some point in the game. Drake Manufacturing is actually centered in the Magnus system, which, for those who don't know, is the home of GII. This is where we call our home base. Well, it will be whenever it gets into the game, however many decades away. But it also is actually one of the systems that's connected to Stanton. So, like, it can't be that far away, right? Right now, that jump point leads to Nyx because Nyx is actually coming into the game. But at some point, Magnus is going to go to Stanton. And the other jump points in Magnus are phenomenal. It goes to Stanton, it goes to Terra, which is the new, we're going to talk about that in a little bit here, and it goes to Ellis, which is like, the most beautiful system in the whole game. Ellis is actually kind of in the game. If you look at the map in Arena Commander for green, I figured they would have it here. Star Citizen Green, you could just type in and you could see this stuff pops up because these maps are all based in the Ellis system. All this to say, these are some systems that are pretty close by. So I wouldn't be surprised if they actually do get this guy into the game at some point in the next several years as like a mission giver or part of the game, kind of like Constantine Hurston is. But anyway, so let's continue.
United. Yeah, okay. It's real funny how those UEE shills suddenly had urgent business back in Saul. So yeah, Drake stepped in. Someone had to. For the people, remember?
This time he's taking aim at the UEE.
I love the like kind of off the cuff, just sort of like, for the people, remember? Like it's totally our mantra, right?
Invictus Launch Week's abrupt retreat to Saul.
Okay, this is an interesting one to put in here because Saul, better call Saul. I don't know. Whatever you want to call the system, obviously it's the home of Earth. And if you look at, let's go to the star map real quick. We haven't jumped into the star map in a little while. I don't know. It hasn't been working on Chrome very well lately. Not sure why. Took God knows how long, but now we can look at the actual source. So I was talking about Magnus. Oh, it's still kind of off. Yeah, I've had this problem too, where like you can't actually click on things. It kind of highlights things, and there we go. So this is Magnus, right? As you can see, it goes to Ellis, Terra, and Stanton. So here's Stanton. Goes to Pyro, Nyx, Magnus, and Terra. They update it so that it goes to Nyx? Because that wasn't there before, right? It's not supposed to go to Nyx. Anyways, you can see how far away Sol is. Earth is freaking far. Like they just, you gotta go through Davian, and then you gotta go from Davian to Killian or Cano, and then you gotta go from Cano to Pyro, and then you go to Pyro to Stanton. Or Sol to Davian to Cathcart to Killian, or Davian to Killian to Ellis to Magnus to... It's several jumps. So it's not a small trip to go back to Earth. And I think it's interesting that they're mentioning it because they also mentioned on the March monthly report that they are working on the 1.0 story. Maybe that was on the February monthly report? I don't know. One of these monthly reports, they mentioned that they're working on the main story for Star Citizen. Yeah. Narrative also wrote a script for the new story mission that will be an important step towards establishing the pipeline needed for delivering the 1.0 main story content to players. Not saying that they have the story already going into the game, but they're in that mindset, they're preparing for it, they're moving towards it, and the story of 1.0, if you didn't know, is the struggle between the Terra system over here, which is connected to Stanton, and the Sol system over here. Generally, the entire story of Star Citizen is the fall of the UEE, right? Yay, UEE, we're so powerful, oh my god. We hate aliens, but actually they're not doing great. They were kind of like in a dictatorship for a long time, and then when they came out of that, they didn't take the Vanduul threat seriously, and now the Vanduul are attacking and they're in war, but their economy's not doing great, and they don't have really a lot of power or money because they're sinking it all into synth world. So there's like a whole complex... Humanity's just not in the best state at the start of Star Citizen or when Squadron 42 happens. And in that time, Sol is losing a lot of power, and Terra is gaining a lot of power, and there are political parties that are trying to pull in either direction, and the main storyline is somehow going to be connected to this war of the efforts. I do not think it's a coincidence that they're starting to mention Sol here. Even if it's not going to be in the game, it's still clearly going to drive the game forward. And I don't know, I'm excited to see it. It's actually all based around the fall of Rome. If you look at the wiki for the Vanduul War, I'm very, very up to date on this because I'm currently writing a video for the Vanduul. But somewhere in here, it actually just straight up has Chris describing his whole idea of the story. The story is the idea of the fall of Rome. Rome lost its power to the Vandals, right, who sacked Rome, right as Constantinople was being considered the center of power. Therefore, Vanduul's probably going to sack Earth at some point here, right as Terra is gaining power. I swear to freaking... It's not my story. I didn't make this up. Where do we find it? Let's say... At long last, in Robert's words, we settled on the decline and fall of the Roman Empire, but instead of it being the Roman Empire, it's the United Empire of Earth, and we've got surrounding enemy alien factions who are analogous and analogous to the fall of the Roman Empire. You have war on one side where it's pretty simple, fighting against the barbarian hordes, much like the legions towards the end of the Roman Empire. He also said, so we start the game before there's a proper split between Terra, equivalent to Constantinople, and Earth, equivalent to Rome, but there will be a split between the two sides, and then we'll have an in-game event that's like the sack of Earth further on, like the sack of Rome, which is a reference to the Visigoths in 410 and the Vandals sacking it in 455. Interestingly enough, the Vandals were kind of invited into Rome when they sacked it. I'm not a doctor, but I did read a little bit. And it would be interesting to see how much CIG can get a little bit more into like the backdoor deals and betrayals between humans and just like more gray area writing you can get into in something like this than they typically might do with the good or bad stories. Anyways, that was a long... Holy crap, that was a long detour to try and find that information. Now we can go back to the actual video and listen to the rest of what was being said.
We're proud, real proud, to welcome all manufacturers. No hidden agenda, no glossy bait. Even if a certain heavily armored silhouette just happens to overshadow the ironclad, that's not the point.
So that's the Odin, right? That's basically saying the Odin is going to be revealed there as a silhouette. Sounds like they're not even going to show us the concept, just the silhouette. So that'll be interesting. I wonder if maybe they'll do like a silhouette and then the concept will come out a day later, because I can't imagine them asking for money for a silhouette, but we'll see what they do. The other thing is just that clearly this is still going to be Invictus Week. They're just changing the name to DefenseCon in order to build on the story. So there's something significant about Invictus taking place in Seoul. Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like there might be something serious there that they're gearing up for. You can actually see the dates here. May 14th to the 27th. So we have our dates for Invictus Week now. It's earlier than I thought it was going to be. I thought they were going to start it on the 21st or the 22nd. Looks like they're starting it on the 14th, which means we got to move our dates up for hey, all involved with our thing going on for the streamathon, that moves us up a week. That means we're going to be starting on the 15th instead of the 22nd, which means our big event has to be on the 16th instead of the 23rd. If you zoom in, you can see some, dude, I think it's too poor quality. Freaking 720p. Posted to YouTube, CIG.
According to the divisive...
All right, there we go. New standards, Hall B. Steady support, Hall 4. Flights, Carapace. Oh, Hall 9. I can't read any of this, but we can at least see the dates, and we know what this is.
DefenseCon 2956 will be going ahead bigger than ever, with a full roster of manufacturers.
Anything? Oh, Anvil Aerospace gets a whole section to themselves. No doubt. Okay, so the 14th through, it looks like the 16th, I'm guessing? Yeah, 1 through 2. Day 1 through 2 is Drake. 2 through 4 is Origin, RSI, and... Is that Asperia? I don't know who that is. Day 5 through 6, it looks like, is Misk, Mirai, and Grey Cat, I think that is. No, that's Grey Cat. No, that's Crusader. Yeah, I think that's Grey Cat. Day 7 through 8 looks like somebody and Aegis. I don't know who that is. Is that Opoa? No. Who is that? Oh, is that Gatac? Dude, my eyes are going.
Going ahead
my blurry eyes.
Ever, with a full roster of manufacturers.
And then you got Crusader and Tumbril here. Are 9 through 10, and then 11 through 12 are Anvil. And then a finale at the end. Is that Aegis by itself? There's some... Oh, I see. I see. This is Gatac, right? Gatac has the name on top and then the stuff down below. It's the Aegis logo. Okay, so Aegis is by themselves, Anvil is by themselves. I guess that makes sense. They have a bunch of ships. Alien ships never do Invictus. Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Is that Gatac? Why would an alien... I guess that's because it's not Invictus. Interesting. It's all a little bit interesting. I didn't even read this news ticker on the bottom. What does it say?
Of Drake CEO and an Ardent stirring...
Gatac teases not one but 2 imminent ship reveals. Wait, can we go back real quick to the Siulen? Actually, no, we want this one.
Branding.
Dude.
We did our usual. We came up with 3 sort of strong candidates to give to Chris to have a look at. And from there, it's... I
want this. I want this. I don't know what the heck this is, what it's supposed to do, what it would be used for. I don't even know if people would buy it, but I want it in the game. This thing looks sick. This looks like one of the scariest bosses you could put into like a dark, confined space area.
That,
these
very early
concepts,
on, it was...
The concepts for free... Imagine if they whipped this out at Drake DefenseCon. It would be so out of left field, man. Oh my god. The concepts for Gatac are really crazy.
It was almost locked in. It was like, okay, this is what we're doing. We're a lot more confident.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what else they're going to reveal from Gatac. I didn't expect them to do 2 ships. That'll be cool.
Up controversy yet again.
United.
UEE Navy has no current planned operations in Nyx, despite the reports of rising hostile activity in the system. Interesting. I don't believe it. Do you believe it? Do you believe that the UEE Navy has no interest in Nyx right now? I don't. I don't at all. Sounds like fake news.
And hey, we're proud, real proud, to welcome all manufacturers. No hidden agenda, no glossy bait. Even if a certain heavily armored
Intersec have committed to upping their presence in Nyx.
That's not the point.
Following similar reports of vandal activity sightings
with a full roster of manufacturers previously scheduled to be at Invictus.
And missing pilots. I think Intersec is just the UEE's Trojan horse, let's be real. Leaked footage of Anvil Odin confirms.
The UEE is always welcome too.
Will DefenseCon truly deliver for the everyday heroes of the system on this unprecedented scale?
Such a slow ticker. No, it didn't even finish. Confirms accelerating preparations for They should have put it. They should have put Kraken at the end of that sentence. Where is this video? I found it on Twitter. I really wish they would post these things other more easy to go places, like, I don't know, YouTube. But they did not. So I'm going to have to put a Twitter link into this freaking chat. I like that they're doing so much more story, man. This stuff's so much more interesting than what we used to get. It used to just be a picture, a video of some ships flying through Crusader and then some clouds and a whale and then, yay, go buy ships. Now there's some story to it. That's nice. Anyways, there's a little update. This is what's happening with Invictus this year. We'll see where it goes from here.